And good morning, dudes and dudettes. This is, of course, your guy, Lightlegger here, and today we are going to be talking about the private beta of Blankos Block Party, a blockchain-based game which I've been very excited about and have talked about it a couple of times on the channel in the past already. Ever since I saw the initial concept and the trailer for the game, I thought like, hey, we could be looking at the next Minecraft here, or next Roblox basically. And the potential for this game is immense. It could be literally the game that is going to be taking this thing to the mainstream, and I'm talking about the NFTs as a concept and crypto in general. And where should we basically start? So one of the things you have to understand that this is still a beta product. There's probably going to be a lot of features, a lot of fixes, a lot of changes going to be implemented to the game. So the thing that you're going to be seeing here is footage from the actual current private beta. And you can get access to the private beta by actually buying one of the founders packages. And one of the cool things you can do is, what I have done is that I have bought a couple of these founders packages, and basically you can sell them afterwards. The capability of actually selling them and how the marketplace is actually going to be working is still up on the air, so we don't exactly know how it's going to be turning out, but I'm very bullish on my investment that I did for buying a lot of these NFTs. And then there are a lot of NFTs that you can also buy with the in-game currency inside the game, outside of the founders packages, which are 4 different kind, which I bought by the way, all of them. And basically the game is like kind of like a mix between of a third-person shooter, not exactly like a Fortnite, and then you kind of have like this sort of a Roblox Minecraft type of a thing. There's 2 kind of like essential game modes. You kind of have like this sort of a speed running, platforming type of things where you kind of like race against other people, kind of, you know, similar to the Fall Guys. And then you have kind of like this shooting aspect, and you can actually combine the both of them, so the map actually starts off as a bit of a like a platforming, and then in the end there's all the ammunition and the guns basically where you can start shooting. And I will go into the specific aspects of the gameplay and my thoughts about it, but I'm just going to be going through a bit of the concept. And then there is this sort of a hub where you can basically do some small quests and swatch your Blanko, which are the characters that are called, and you collect them inside the game. And you can level them up, you can equip them with accessories like jetpacks, wings, and these will actually give you abilities too. And you can get like a collar, a chain collar, or masks and hats in general. There's going to be a lot more of these in the future. Is there going to be any type of a play to earn type of aspect to this game? Remains to be seen. I'm not sure. There might be certain Blankos that you can unlock by playing the game, and I guess you can sell them. So if that is going to be a thing, yes, you can basically play to earn inside this game. I think that is a fundamentally like a very important aspect if this game is going to be succeeding in the eyes of crypto investors, because I think there has to be some type of element or some forms of content which can be sold, which you can acquire just by playing the game and being active, whatever that is, a season pass or daily quests and stuff like that, which by the way is also available. So there's like achievements and everything, and there's considerably amount of lot of things to do for a beta game. There's multiplayer and single player. There's also the map editor, which allows you to create your own stages, and some of those assets on those map editors you already own. Some of them can be bought with the in-game currency. And so there's different ways to basically, you know, build maps. You either pay to get some of the parts, or you just don't pay anything. And you just, you know, use the free assets basically. So you're not necessarily like kept away from building stages, even if you don't invest. So that's kind of cool. And in terms of like getting into the actual, my feedback towards the actual game. So this was done on the American server. As my people know, I'm from Europe, so there was a bit of a lag perhaps in certain points. Very low latency lag. I thought that was like a kind of minimal. It's going to be interesting to try it out on European servers whenever then came out. Now it's just a one global server where everybody just comes to play together on the game. And in terms of like the jumping and like everything in terms of the creating the maps was, in my opinion, very smooth and, you know, easy. It just, the hotkeys were probably the hardest thing that were kind of like, you know, the biggest learning curve inside the game, I would say. And I feel like there has to be, in the future patch, like availability to change the hotkeys, because like having flying on C, or is V button, without toggle was kind of straining my fingers. So that's something, a bit of a feedback for the developers there to add. And customizing the characters, the menus, everything was very smooth. Sometimes there was a bit of a loading time to get into the stages. How long that should basically be is a debate of its own. Obviously, once again, different server distance, so that might be a very different experience for the American users who are in the beta. Music design, very good, very good. You have metal tracks, you kind of have like lo-fi hip-hop there, and just like a combination, like feels very fresh and unique. And I think the music is definitely high-end quality, and this is like really comparing it to a lot of other games that I have played outside of blockchain, and this just takes the whole level of blockchain gaming into like a total different dimension, so to speak, to all existing ones. I think that in terms of the quality of the game, but they had the right, you know, concept here. Make the game first and then the crypto NFT adaptation, and they did it right. They made a system that makes sense. Obviously, there's still a lot of things in beta, so to speak, so we don't exactly know of all of the intrinsic details of everything. And one of the things, obviously, people wanted to know, well, are the founders' packages retiring when? And how much is there a limited supply and stuff like that? And these were probably things that people kind of wanted to know, and that would have been kind of nice, so people know kind of what they are investing in exactly. In terms of the camera work, which I adjusted immediately once I got in because it was way too slow for me, I felt like in terms of movements, level designs, the graphics, everything like worked out perfectly. Maybe my biggest point of right now is the shooting. So the shooting, and this has to do a bit of the server lags as well. The shooting in this game doesn't feel on the right level where it should be. I think the way that the missiles work or are like coded out, so to speak, like they're just like instantly moving from point A to point B. So the gun, I guess the developers really didn't have past experience on making FPS games, and that might have something to do with the gun design, which is not like the guns are bad or anything, but what I'm saying is the way that the projectiles move from one point to another, how is the spray patterns and all of these things, like it didn't feel very smooth. I felt like the when I was, you know, sometimes the actual missiles like moved not from the tip of the gun, they felt like they were, you know, like half a meter away from the gun or something. It just didn't feel smooth. I don't know how to like exactly the hitboxes and the mechanisms and like everything around the gunplay inside the game is a bit sloppy. There's no reload mechanism. It doesn't need to have one, and you can like change these weapons, and there's different ones, and they all use the same ammunition. But I do want to say that I did feel that the gunplay was a bit sloppy, and it definitely needs more work to feel more fluid. Something that is just inherently something I want to use and enjoy playing. Right now, it could have been partially about the server lag and things like that, but I just felt like this is the thing, an area where they need to work on the most right now, because you kind of want to capture both the platforming aspect, which is great already. You have the sprinting, you have the flying, and they are pretty smooth. When you sprint, the camera doesn't necessarily work the way you want it to. I think it should kind of like pan over better, and there's like these small little tweaks which you can do to make the game perfect. And hopefully the developers have time to watch this video, or somebody else does, and relays that feedback to them. But I'm very excited about the game once the trading especially starts. This has very high potential. I see it as a very good investment right now, based on what I know so far regarding this game. And I definitely, when we look at the music design, the art design, the map creation, which is not even that hard for, you know, people who are kids or anything like that, because there's a tutorial inside it. And there's so many aspects that have so much potential in this game that this could become very mainstream. I don't know if it's going to be on Steam, is it going to be on Epic Games, is it going to be a standalone, kind of like Minecraft is. And it definitely could be standalone because I think just inherently the way the game is designed is just so perfect and good. But that is kind of my rundown of the game so far. I might be streaming it at some point, and I will be doing a bit more of a fuller review on a lot of the things as I have more time to try out. But I thought I would be kind of like sharing some of my own ideas regarding the game itself. And regarding people asking what type of blockchain it is, I believe it's an EOS fork. So it's not on EOS, but it's like a fork out of EOS, so the NFTs kind of work on the same way. That's my understanding how this game is right now, and I'm very excited to see once the blockchain integration actually starts out and everything revolving around that. But thanks for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. Cheers.